All right, it's here the weekend politics, and welcome back. Now, I'd like to quickly introduce my guest. He's been very regular on the show since 2021, and he moved on from a media aide to the then aspirant and the then candidate to finally being the as a special advisor general duties to His Excellency the Governor. I'm talking of another one, but an erudite scholar, a Lord. Yes, it's my own, so I can actually address him in that direction. We have joining us Barrister Ekpenyong Akaba, the special advisor to the Governor on general duties. Barrister, so good to have you join us. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much.
Now,
Our own very eloquent MC Joe. His Excellency will say, don't mind that you're I'm happy to be here. Good evening, viewers. Always my pleasure to be
absolutely, absolutely. Now, Barrister, you would agree with me that it's been a long way coming. Like I gave the analysis from a media aid, we know a lot of information you turn out from this show. I'd like you to tell us how has the journey been in the last 1 year, so to say.
The journey so far, this 1 year running, has been very satisfactory in one word. It's also been very expository and very eventful and also very fulfilling because our governor, most senior Senator Ambassador, have been able to distinguish himself, have been able to vindicate himself, especially for unbelievers. Because for most of us, you agree, we've been on several platforms years back, and we've always repeated the fact that Senator Ambassador is a goldfish and is a rare gem. He's indeed a distinguished creation that have no other similar to him. I must say that Senator Basu have been able to deliver on his mandate that Constitution gave to him, and I've also been able to deliver on his campaign promises. There is no gain emphasizing that so far, Cross River State, as it were, and as it is today, there's a big difference. It's been applauded within and outside the state, and even outside the country. So for me, this 1 year is a fulfilling 1 year because the governor has affected all sectors positively. The governor has impacted in terms of service delivery, in terms of maintaining the people first mantra in all sense of the word. So we are moving with very high shoulders and indeed very proud perseverance that His Excellency have been able to reawaken that identity of Destination Cross River, that image of the Paradise City. So we are happy and we are highly commending him for making us proud, for making the people of Cross River State proud, and commending Her Excellency because of the level of support that he has enjoyed as a governor from the wife, and we have enjoyed as his aides from our mother. So it is the 1 year of thanksgiving, the 1 year of fulfillment, and a 1 year filled with satisfaction.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, now when he, started this campaign, and on the day he was sworn in, he made the statement that he's going to consolidate on the gains of past administrations. How has it been? How has he been able to achieve this in the last 365 days?
When you talk about consolidating on democratic gains, particularly of nascent democracy, and so far he has even gone beyond what we have in the state from nascent democracy, that is in 1999. because as we speak today, our infrastructure have been given priority attention. You also accept the fact that the metropolis, the city center, is completely different. The governor has declared operation zero potholes. In the state today, 60 to 70% of the entire metropolis have no potholes. When you talk about democratic gains, Marina Resort was one of those democratic gains. Today at Marina Resort, we had hosted Fun City during Easter. We have the cinemas at Marina Resort, and there's been a lot of investors who are coming to invest within the resort. You talk about the convention center, International Convention Center. Today is a venue for international events. You talk about the Ranch Resort, you talk about the cargo airport, you talk about even investment within the deep sea port. His Excellency have truly sustained democratic gains and is building on them and clearly showing that the value chain will be beneficial to the people. Is it the cultural center? Is it the state library? In terms of basic infrastructure, they've been given adequate and appropriate attention. In Cross River State today, our water board brought back water over a period. Our street lights, you agree, have now been functioning optimally. The traffic lights are back in the city and beyond the city. And in terms of environmental sanitation, today the beautification of the state is clear that the state is greener than what it was. It's also cleaner than what it used to be. There's also improved security. You could see the Excellency I even ventured into the renovation of the headquarters of the different services, the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Air Force, Civil Defense, Police. If you go to Federal Road Safety Corps, it's having full rehabilitation by His Excellency, first of its kind. These are all federal agencies. Even our state fire service have been given attention. You go to Mopuli level, it will shock you to note that right from 70s, they have said they have not witnessed state government presence. So for me, His Excellency have been able to not only sustain democratic gains, but have been able to build on the gains of democracy in all sense of the word, in all sectors. Is it in sports? Cross River State today is in topical discussion in the sports sector. Is it in agriculture? You agree that the Excellency has been able to lay a solid foundation in that sector. So for me, we are happy that God gave to us a governor that is considering the people first before whatever or even himself.
Okay, now, Barrister, remember very well that after the election that brought in His Excellency on the 18th of May last year, there were a lot of challenges in terms of litigations. Now, let's look at those early litigations that finally got to the apex court, where his victory was was sustained and maintained by the court. Let's look at those early challenges. How was he able to overcome them?
I think Senator University is a gift from God, because it is God that appoints leaders, and those obstacles were to enable the government gather strength and to also weather storms, so as to be able to withstand the leadership challenges, because many say that power is not donated. So for me, all those layers of litigation were roadblocks, though some were necessary, because most of those questions were questions that the answers were clear. A distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of his magnitude, one cannot question his standing, having been able to distinguish himself creditably. Is it in the banking sector, is it in the petroleum sector, and even in the administration? He is indeed an impeccable character. So for me, most of those issues were unnecessary. But because it is politics, you can agree that most times all weapons are used in engaging in power tussle. So the experience was the build-up. The experience was also what I would call a training process into leadership that will entail a lot of challenges. And I must say that His Excellency, having won as governor of the state, have also been able to play inclusive politics. I've also been able to show inclusive leadership, where the PDP and others are part and parcel of this administration, because at the end of the day, we're all perseverance. And His Excellency have been able to attach a lot of sensibilities into unification of all and sundry. And for me, we cannot have any better leader. We cannot have any other better governor today than the governor that God gave to us. So those obstacles for me were obstacles that were preparing him and all of us that were in the struggle for this task of leadership, which requires strength, which also requires stamina and a lot of experience, both good and bad experiences, to be able to weather this storm.
Oh, great. Now, Barrister, let's quickly look at, I want to find out from you, because a few days into his administration, he had to start dropping his appointments, first with the principal officers, and since thereafter, it's been coming in. Well, I want to find out, how would you rate the quality of those appointees? Are they indeed round pegs in round hole?
Yes, for me, I want to say that working with the embassy too have been another schooling. You agree, some of us had passed through very strong foundations, like Hobolu Training Institution, where you don't move around carelessly, you don't dress abnormally, you have to dress properly. And this is the administration that is also taking us back to those school days, where they said whenever the governor is around, in fact, you calculate your breathing. And that's because it's a governor that follows the processes. It's a governor that knows the rule of law. It's a governor that also uses necessary barometers to be able to bring anybody on board. If anybody is considered for appointment in this administration headed by His Excellency, then that person must have passed through a test. And that test, you must have scored very high. That is why, to date, several parastatals and departments and agencies are yet to be filled by way of appointment, because many are still undergoing those testing situations. So what we have so far have been people that have discharged themselves either in their previous positions or in their different fields or professions before they were considered. So for us, the appointees are indeed square pegs, or we choose to say round pegs in those ways.
Absolutely. And finally, 3 days from now, Cross Riverians will be celebrating the first year anniversary of His Excellency. Let's get your word for Cross Riverians.
Cross Riverians will continue to be patient with the administration because we couldn't run eating a matchy ground. The water was very murky and it was also very frosty. So the governor and this governor need a lot of patience from the people, because even in agriculture and farming, when you plant, you need to be patient for it to germinate and begin to grow. And there have to be time for weeding. There have to be a lot of processes before I talk about harvesting. And this is the journey. I want to solicit for that patience. I want to also solicit for continuous prayers, because prayer is the key. His Excellency has a lot in stock for Crossovarians, which requires prayers, which requires patience, which requires support and collaboration to enable him to take us to the Eldorado. But for me too, it's also a call on Crossovarians to awaken their consciousness as to government infrastructure, as to government facilities, because it is our facility, it's our infrastructure. We must protect what we have in our different communities, because a lot of those innovations and constructions the Excellency have done within these few months are really being vandalized. And that's because the community is not conscious of what is happening within our surroundings. And even in terms of cleanliness of the environment, it is our business. So I call on Crossovarians to take this government as their government, because the government is the people first government, and it's only we the people that can deliver on behalf of the Excellency, who has a good heart and has good things and good plans for a prosperous Cross River State.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kweyon Akaba, Esquire, Special Advisor to the Governor on General Duties. It's been a great time talking with you on the show. We hope to have you some more to give us updates as we cross the 1 year mark.
Let me end by commending the management and staff of Cross River Broadcasting Corporation, because I've seen a lot of progress in line with the season of sweetness, and it is indeed clear that the difference in CRDC can be felt even beyond the shores of Cross River State.
That's true. Absolutely. Thank you so very much. You've heard it there from Mr. Kweyon Akaba, Esquire, the Special Advisor to the Governor of Cross River State. We'd like you to go all out on Tuesday, be a part of the activities lined up, and take part at the CICC, where we have the Town Hall meeting at 2 p.m. and also join His Excellency to go around commissioning project. And remember, 6 p.m. on Wednesday, the 29th, we're having a moment to tell God thank you for leading the state in the last 365 days. So this is where we'll be joining our cousin on the show. Join us again next week, and next week will be the first Sunday in the month of June. So we're coming loaded with some great packages for you. Till then, my name is Joseph Ian. Have a beautiful week ahead of you. Bye-bye.